Hello students, so in this video we will be solving the remaining questions from the topic quadratic equations. The next question says the sum of all the roots of this equation. Of course, very simple question, very straightforward. All of you might be knowing what should we do. Let us take a mod of x minus 1 is equals to t, then this becomes t square minus 5t plus 6 equals to 0. So we can write this as t minus 2 into t plus t minus 3, dear students. That means t will be equals to 2 comma 3. That means mod x minus 1 will be equals to 2 or mod x minus 1 will be equals to 3. That means if I remove this, so x minus 1 will be equals to plus or minus 2, x will be equals to 1 plus or minus 2. That means x here will be either 1 plus 2 3 or 1 minus 2 minus 1, and here mod x minus 1 is equals to 3. That means x minus 1 is equals to plus or minus 3. So x will be equals to 1 plus or minus 3, x will be 1 plus 3 4 or 1 minus 3 minus 2. So sigma xi, I think that's what he's asking us, sum of all the roots. That will be 3 minus 1 plus 4 minus 2. So 3 minus 1 is 2, 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 minus 2 is once again 4, dear students. So 4 should be the answer. Option 4 is indeed correct. Now let us go to the next question. Next question, he says, yeah, let S be, this is a cubic polynomial x cube plus ax square plus bx plus c such that a comma b comma c belongs to natural numbers, dear students, and a comma b comma c are less than or equals to 20. B set of polynomials, that means a can be 1, b can be 2, c can be 3, like that we can get many polynomials, right? But then the number of polynomials in S which are divisible by this. So all of us know that if this polynomial, cubic polynomial, is divisible by x square plus 2, then we can express this as x square plus 2 into x plus some t, let us say, correct? No, if this is divisible, then we can write it in this way, right? Now let us multiply on the right hand side. What do we get? X cube plus x square t plus 2x plus t, right? Now these two polynomials are the same thing, right? It means if I compare the coefficients of x cube, x square, x and the constants, what will I get? A will be equals to t, right? B will be equals to 2 and c will be equals to, I think this should be 2t, dear students, not t. 2 into t is 2t. So c will be equals to 2t, right? Now what is the condition, dear students? That a comma b comma c are less than or equals to 20. B is anyways less than or equals to 20, less than 20, and a should be less than or equals to 20, which implies t should be less than or equals to 20. So this is one very important information. And here c is 2t, right? C should also be less than or equals to 20 as per this inequality. That means 2t should be less than or equals to 20. That means t should be less than or equals to 10. Wonderful. That means a, b, c are all natural numbers, right? Since a is equals to t, that means a should belong to this set 1 comma 2 comma 3 and so on till 7 8 9 10. That means there are 10 distinct values of a, and for all the 10 distinct values of a we get b as 2 and we get c as twice of a. So we get 10 distinct polynomials. That's it. This is a very simple question. Then the number of polynomials in S, so therefore the number of polynomials will be 10. That's it. I hope you understood this. Now let us go to the next question, dear students. Next question, he says if alpha comma beta, where alpha is less than beta, are the roots of this equation such that this. Okay, now we already know, dear students, we can write this as beta minus alpha divided by alpha beta is equals to 1 by 3. I'm solving this. We can take the LCM, and we know, dear students, that difference of the roots will be under root d by mod a. And what is the discriminant here, dear students? That will be b square. So this will be minus of lambda plus 3 whole square minus 4 into a into c divided by mod a, that is mod lambda. I think you have understood this. So we get under root of lambda square plus 9 plus 6 lambda minus 12 lambda divided by mod lambda, right? So we get this as under root lambda square minus 6 lambda plus 9 divided by mod lambda, right? Fine, that's fine. So we can even write this as under root of mod lambda minus 3 whole square divided by, yeah, so ultimately we get mod lambda minus 3 divided by mod lambda as a mod beta minus alpha. So if I make use of this, what is the product of the roots, dear students? That is c by a, right? So if I rewrite, so beta minus alpha will be mod lambda minus 3 by mod lambda divided by alpha beta will be 3 divided by lambda, dear students, and that will be equals to 1 by 3, right? I hope we are going in the right direction. Yes. So we can say this is nothing but lambda into mod lambda by 3 divided by 3 mod lambda is equals to 1 by 3. Now we can write this as lambda into mod lambda minus 3 is equals to mod lambda. Now just square on both sides, dear students. Instead of opening the modulus, square on both sides. So we get lambda square into lambda minus 3 whole square is equals to lambda square. So we get lambda minus 3 whole square is equals to 1. That means lambda minus 3. Now if I apply square root, I'll get lambda minus 3 is equals to plus or minus 1. Lambda will be 3 plus or minus 1. Lambda will either be 4 or lambda will either be, let me write it here, lambda will either be 3 plus 1 4 or 3 minus 1 2, right? Both these values should be satisfied. Then the sum of all possible values of lambda, so I think that should be okay. Just check if lambda is 4, is this satisfied? 4 minus 3 is 1 here, 1 divided by 4, yeah, perfect. I think it should be satisfied. And lambda is 2, will it be satisfied? Yes. So I think sum of the distinct values and sum of all possible values of lambda should be 4 plus 2, dear students, that should be 6. So 6 should be the right answer. Now let us go to the next question, dear students. So next question, he says the number of the real solutions of the equation. So in this question, definitely, dear students, we can make cases as we can expand. The critical points are minus 3 and 1. So we can definitely open the modulus at that. Now I'll try to solve this question in a different way using graph, right? Now can I write x into mod x plus 3 is equals to 2 minus of mod x minus 1, dear students? Yes. Now just focus on the left hand side first. So left hand side is x into mod x plus 3, right? This will be x into x plus 3 if x is greater than or equals to minus 3. Yes or no? Correct? Because mod x plus 3 is x plus 3 if x is greater than or equal to minus 3. And this will be minus x into x plus 3 if x is less than minus 3. So how will the graph of this look like, dear students? So the graph of this looks like something like this. So minus 3 is somewhere here. So when x is greater than or equals to minus 3, so this graph will open, this is a parabola which will open upwards, something like this, right? Correct? And it will pass through origin because x minus x plus 0 into x plus 3, right? Right? But here he is telling that x is greater than or equals to minus 3. So we will definitely, right, delete this particular part, right? I hope you are understanding this. Yes. Now when x is less than minus 3, what do we get here? Here we get this is minus x square minus 3x. That means this parabola, it will be facing downwards, right? And it will be something like this. Correct? But since x should be less than minus 3, we will definitely erase this part. I hope you are following what I'm doing. Right? I hope you have understood this part. Right? Right? Okay. So here is a critical point, and here is a, yeah. So this is the graph of x into mod x plus 3. Now let us try to draw the graph of 2 minus mod x minus 1. So graph of 2 minus mod x minus 1. So firstly, let us draw the graph of mod x minus 1. That will be, all of us know this, dear students, that will be something like this. Right, this value will be 1. So this is graph of mod x minus 1. Now let us draw the graph of negative of mod x minus 1. That will be something like this. Right, just the image of the previous graph with respect to x-axis. Correct? No? Yes or no? This is the graph of negative of mod x minus 1. Now we will draw the graph of 2 minus mod x minus 1. So first let us see the solutions of this. That means when is this true? Where does this graph cut the x-axis? So this will be 2. That means x minus 1 will be plus or minus 2, x will be 1 plus or minus 2, x will be either 3 or minus 1. That means firstly this graph will cut x equals to 3 and x equals to minus 1, and that too, how will this look like? So we should take the help of this graph, and this graph should shift by 2 units in the upward direction. Okay, vertically upwards, it should shift by 2 units vertically upwards. That means something like this, right? It should be something like this. Yeah, this should be minus 1. It should be something like this. I hope you are following this, dear students. Yeah, right? So now this is the graph of, if you want, you can find this value also. This will be at 1. So this will be 2. this point will be 1 comma 2, right? Because when x is 1, this output will be 2, right? Now we have to combine this graph 1 and 2, right? How do I combine that? So combination of the graphs. So we'll do one thing, let us just crop this. Yeah, let us copy this. Yeah, so if I copy that, yes, so now erase this. Okay, forget about this part. Yeah, I've just deleted the part. Now we have to paste this graph also, in this, right? So how do we write that? It is something like this. This is -1, right? So how does the graph look like, dear students? So 1 is somewhere here, right? So it will be something like this. So it should definitely cut this, right? Right, something like this, and at 1 it should change, right? So of course you might have understood, if you try to draw the graph correctly, you will get this as one solution, and this as another solution, and this as the third solution. I hope you understood this, right? If you try to draw it correctly, then you'll get 3 solutions as the answer, dear students. So the number of solutions are 1, 2 and 3. The one solution is less than -3, and the other solution is between -3 and -1, and the other solution is I think greater than 0, right? It should be less than 1 also, right? I hope you understood this part. So this should be 1, yeah, somewhere. That means when x is greater than 1, there are no solutions, right? So that's it, dear students. So the number of solutions are 3. So the answer should be 3. Option 3 should be correct. That's it from this video, dear students. Thank you for watching this. Meet you with the next one.